Hey guys, oh hey. Every single Tuesday I have these cramps that are unbearable. And so in my mind, I'm like, is this the growth day for this child? Because I mean, I can't sleep at night. They keep me up. These cramps are, they make you think something is going wrong, but it isn't. So, but I mean, they really hurt. And I noticed that it's a specific day. It's every single Tuesday. And obviously I turn another week every Thursday. But every Tuesday I have this, I can't sleep. I can't walk. I can't do much because these cramps are like debilitating. I noticed that my breasts are fuller. They're not where I know they're going to go, but they are. I can feel like the roundness of them filling in. I lost a lot of my breast fat after I nursed both my other kids, and so it's a happy time to cuff them. We're happy that we can cuff these breasts now. And like I said, I noticed that at 10 weeks. Something I don't really get into too much is my cravings, because I try to mind over matter cravings in pregnancy, because I don't believe that you're feeding for two. I believe that you're feeding yourself, and you just need to make sure that your child has the proper nutrients by you eating right. But I did have, at 10 weeks, I had this crazy craving for some pastelillos. I don't know if I'm saying it right to my Hispanic community, so if I'm not saying it right, I apologize, but you guys know what I'm talking about. In some communities they're called empanadas, which in Charlotte they're called empanadas, but in Buffalo, New York, where I'm from, they're called pastelillos. And so I wanted one really bad. I know how to cook them myself, and so I just went to the supermarket and I was like, I'm looking for empanada discs. And I mean, I went to the Hispanic grocery stores. I went to every single supermarket in my area, and there was no sign of pastelillos. And so I was really frustrated. I mean, my husband had just gotten off work, and I try not to burden him with things like this, but I called him like, please, I don't know what side of town you're on, I need you to find me an empanada disc. You have to be clear, because if you say empanada, they try to give you the pre-made ones, and I don't eat pre-made stuff often. So I was like, please help me out. But I could not find these things anywhere. So that was an interesting craving that I had at 10 weeks. One that I had today that I've been eating oatmeal with apples, cut up apples, fresh apples, and cinnamon and milk every single morning. The baby needs the fiber. It gives me energy, and I really don't like oatmeal. I only eat oatmeal when I'm carrying a child, when I'm breastfeeding. So we had one apple left, and I said to my husband, I was like, babe, please, on your way out the door, boil me some water. I'm gonna make me some oatmeal. And he said okay. He boiled the water, and then he took the apple, the one last apple that we had. And then he called me, and he's talking about our business plans, and I'm like, where's the apple? and I was like, I know you didn't take the last apple. Like, I know you didn't, because I asked you to boil me some water for oatmeal. The only way I can eat oatmeal is if I have an apple in it. So I know that you didn't do this. And he was like, I did, and I'm 40 minutes away, and I'm in the middle of eating the apple right now. And I was just like, so I got really quiet on the phone, because I was trying to process how I felt, and I'm like, Lord, this is the devil. He was quiet on one end of the phone, I was quiet on the other end of the phone, and finally I was like, Sharif, I'm gonna call you back. That's my husband. If you don't watch our show All Day with the Ali's, here's your chance to subscribe to our channel. So I said, I don't want to hang up. But he was like, no, we have to continue talking. And I'm like, no, we don't have to continue talking. And then I had the craziest, pregnancy breakdown, because I'm thinking to myself, how dare you freaking psycho, take the last apple. And so I'm like, you don't think about me. You don't consider me. This is what I mean about you. You're selfish. And all that stuff that, women say. And and I was like, have a good day, Sharif, which I don't call him Sharif, and ends call. And then, when I was done, I had already put the oatmeal in the bowl and stuff like that. So I said, you have to get over this. You have to eat. So I put some cut up strawberries in my oatmeal, but I don't like the strawberries in Charlotte. They're sour. So but I got through it, and I'm probably gonna call him at some point today and apologize. But right now, I'm still bitter about my apples. So I love you, honey. Don't touch my fruit. Breakouts. I am still breaking out. My husband said that my face is clearing up, but I noticed that I still have, oh, it's gone. Oh, wait, no. See what I mean? Right here. Yeah, I'm still experiencing little breakouts like around the perimeter of my face. Nothing major. Like initially they were popping up all over the place, but now they're just kind of, I'm just checking, my kids are laughing. I'm just like, you know, breaking out around the perimeter of my face. So another thing, at 11 weeks, I had been contemplating and doing a lot of research on placenta encapsulation. Now, studies say that it really doesn't do anything. It's Western medicine. You know, they've started. Yeah, they've, you know, been doing it over there, and so I noticed that a lot of women are doing it here, and I'm not sure whether this is going to be my last pregnancy or not. So I wanted to kind of do everything that I didn't do in my earlier pregnancies, and so that was one of them. My mother kept the placenta from when I gave birth to Saya, and she didn't do anything with it though. And so I was thinking to freeze my placenta and then send it off to one of the labs and get it all cleaned and whatever and turned into pills and take them, because it's supposed to lower your risk of cancer, and it's supposed to help you produce more breast milk. And a girlfriend of mine did it, and she was like always swollen with breast milk. But as I continued my research, and a lot of places were saying like it really doesn't show to do much. So I'm kind of wavering, you know, is that something I want to do? Is it not? You know, that week, last week it was, but this week, not so much. Here is what is so wonderful about this week. My sex drive has returned. Guys, when I'm telling you, I've only made love to my husband like twice from 6 weeks to 11 weeks. We had sex twice. That's abnormal in my household. If you don't watch our vlogs, watch our Super Goal Sundays, you'll see I am the one in my marriage with a high sex drive. It completely disappeared. A lot of it was because I was cramping at night and I was nauseous all day. So there really wasn't much get it time in between there, because I felt like if anything were inside of me, I would just fall apart. And and like we tried, you know, I tried, you know, twice, because I was like, I love him, he doesn't deserve this. But you know, it was hard. It was hard because it's just not what's on your mind. It's just not. So it was a challenge, but I got through it. And then last week, I was like, I want this. And I got that. And so I'm so happy that my sex drive has returned. My fantasies have returned. Everything involving it has returned. And finally, without further ado, we got our first sonogram last week. It is so difficult to really get excited about a baby until you see it. I don't know if I'm the only person that feels that way. Maybe if you've never had a miscarriage before, you felt that way. But when you have a miscarriage, or when you know that you could have a chemical pregnancy, or you could have a pregnancy that's not viable, or you have a miscarriage, or you know, you find out some awful news about your embryo or fetus, it's just not the way. So it's difficult to get excited about it, and so you don't tell anyone really, like if you're me, and you just want to keep it a low-key pregnancy. And so I first I went through thinking I was having twins because I was extra big. I forgot, that was before I realized I was bloated. Then I went through what if, because I had a pregnancy that wasn't viable before. It wasn't a miscarriage, but the pregnancy wasn't viable because the embryo didn't grow. Only my gestational sac and the yolk sac was growing. So you know, there's that, and then you still feel everything like you're pregnant. Your body's still going through the hormonal changes, but your HCG levels aren't climbing, which means the pregnancy is not going well. But in my case, so yeah, I thought that. What else did I think? I was just like, I'm not having twins. the bottom line of it is my body's not built for 2 babies at one time, and I'm just not having twins. So there's no need to get excited about this if there are 2 babies, because I'm not Beyonce. I don't have doctors that can put me back together, and I'm not having 2 babies. But we went to the doctor, and me and my kids, my husband was not able to come because he had to stay behind and work. But we saw the baby. And my son had the cutest reaction, which I wasn't able to vlog for you guys. I was able to get the end, but they too, the sonographer also wasn't sure what was going to happen when she turned on that I don't know. I don't want the Doppler. When they turn on the screen. So they don't let you record anything just in case you get bad news. But my son, he saw the baby, and the baby was bouncing around. And I've never gotten a sonogram this late into the pregnancy. So I've always seen my babies for the first time when they were the little itty bitty bean, and you're just like, what is that? It's, you know, it's slob. I don't know. It's just nothing. You don't really have any attachment. Funny thing, my mother-in-law still has baby Sharif's sonogram up in her living room. Just like, what is that? He's nothing. But this one was, you know, the hands were, the arms and the feet were moving around. So I'm like, good, you have all that stuff. And it was just like, it was bouncing. And my son was like, is that the baby? It was so beautiful. He was like, the baby's bouncing around on its back and it's waving to me. Mom, the baby, you know, the baby wants to get out and see me. And oh, that stole my heart. I'm so excited to have this child with my children. It's like a different experience. It's not like when I had my first child and it was just my husband and I, or when I had my second child and my baby was a baby. It's like my son it's like I'm experiencing this through fresh eyes. So my son, he talks about the baby all day, and he's so proud of what's happening in our lives, and it's so cool because he knows what's going on, and he keeps asking these questions about my vagina and where the baby's going to come from. And of course, I'm that mom, so I share with him, you know, PG. But basically, I told him that, he said, why do you have a vagina and not a penis? I said, well, I have a vagina so the babies can come out. Then it occurred to me, he didn't come out of there. So I said, but it's except in special cases when the baby comes out of your stomach, like when you were born. And he was like, so I came out of your stomach and Sai came out of your vagina? And I said, yes. And he said, and this baby's going to come? I said, hopefully from my vagina. So he's like, and where does Dad fit into this picture? And I was like, Dad carries the liquid. He carries the fluid around. And he accepted that. Thank you, Jesus. So, you know, it was cool. It's cool. It's just cool that to see my son. He sat in the chair, and I'll show you guys a little bit of how our sonogram went here. Look at my perfect companion right there. Deal? What are you doing?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was waiting until you. Oh,
Should we listen to this?
Ready, guys?
And my son was just, he was flabbergasted, and he asked when we got home, can we put up the pictures of the baby? And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see my son as a big brother, because he has such a caring heart and he's such an awesome spirit. And I'm excited inside. I like walking around with her dolls all day. So this is going to be a new experience from that perspective for our family, which is good because we live really far away from our extended families, and so we may not feel all that love that we felt, the overflow in love when we had our first child. Not so much for our second, but hopefully this will be a new experience that'll color everything pink for me. In terms of gender, we don't know the gender of the baby at this point. What is this piece doing? I have a preference. I don't want to say what the preference is, but I do have a preference. I pray to God that our baby is healthy and happy and bouncing around, that it has all of its fingers and toes, and their sight and their hearing, and you know, I pray all that stuff. No diseases that are, you know, like it's just difficult to bear, and you know, with other children and stuff like that. But I would be lying if I didn't say, fingers crossed, that it's a, and I would be lying if I said, Lord, I wanted another attractive kid. I'm not, I mean, I know a lot of people don't say it, but I'm going to say it for you guys. I want my kid to be healthy, happy, attractive, and what I want. So drop comments and tell me what you think the gender of the baby is, or what you think I want, or both. Comment on both and let me know, because that's where I'm living. But I'm going to wrap it up because I'm way past my time. And I'm just going to say, make sure you stay tuned for our family vlogs. I will be back next. At this point, I think my husband said we're going to do these videos on Friday. So I'll be back next Friday with another update. And without further ado, here's my belly shot. Here we go. 10-week baby Ellie. Oh, I told you guys I was going to try to show you my back too, so that you knew that I wasn't playing funny games and going like, or like, so there it is. Baby Ellie with the straight back to the left side, to the front side, and to the right side. It's baby Ellie at 12 weeks. Baby A. Baby A. And when something seems bad, still turn it around and make something good. Because God is good. Peace.